Aloha, I'm Michelle Melendez, author of Great Maui Land Grab and the Death of Freedom. And I want to let you know that I have submitted an impeachment inquiry into the legislative body here in Hawaii, and I need your help. First, I want to show you guys the impeachment inquiry so you can see what was submitted. And my request is that you contact your legislator. It's super easy to do. I'm going to show you how to do it and send them just one email. It'll take 60 seconds. And all you do is tell them you support the impeachment inquiry. And let me show you what it looks like. You can go to standtogetherhawaii.com. This is the website. And then you go to Hawaii Government Overreach. And the impeachment inquiry is this PDF. You can just click right there and it'll come up and you can read it for yourself. Here is what it says. It's a request for impeachment. So the thing is, I'm going to do a stop share. The people here in Hawaii cannot impeach the governor. We need 2/3 of the legislative body to do that. It's going to take a miracle for that to happen, but that's not the point. The point is for the legislative body to know that the people here in Hawaii are not happy that our governor has signed over 90, almost 100 emergency proclamations, suspended laws without the legislative body, and continues to sign these emergency proclamations based on administrative issues, no natural disaster, nothing, no life-threatening situation. And he's literally governing through these emergency proclamations and completely going outside of the Constitution and outside his office, outside his authority. That's what this impeachment is about. So let me show you guys again. You can go to standtogetherhawaii.com, click on Hawaii Governor Overreach, request for impeachment. So again, the legislative body is the only one that can do this. This document respectfully requests the Hawaii State Legislature initiate a formal fact-finding impeachment inquiry of Governor Green to determine whether a sustained, this is really important, sustained pattern of executive action has exceeded constitutional and statutory limits. And this is exactly what he has done. He has diminished legislative authority, and it warrants legislative review. That is what we are requesting. So what this is, it literally goes over the governor's oath of office, the grounds requesting the inquiry. So this is basically the grounds for it. Continuing use of emergency proclamation as a governing mechanism. He is governing Hawaii, the islands of Hawaii, through the emergency proclamations that he keeps signing. That is not what the governor is supposed to do. That is outside of his station. And that is why this impeachment inquiry needs support from you. If you live in Hawaii, you can submit. Let me just show you guys how to submit your support for this impeachment inquiry, and then I'll go back to the impeachment inquiry to show you more about it. You can go to standtogetherhawaii.com, click on Hawaii Governor Overreach, and you can click on Find Your Legislator. Then you just click Find Your Legislator. You can just put in, I'm going to put in Captain Cook because that's where I live, Captain Cook, Hawaii, and just click on that, and then and that shows me right there. These are my legislators. Then all I do is copy and paste the email right there and then send them an email that says I am in support of the impeachment inquiry. And you can even add this link. So I'm in support of the impeachment inquiry. Please honor and review the impeachment inquiry, and here you can find it here. So you can put in this link. If you've joined standtogetherhawaii.com, you will get an email with information of how to do this exactly, but it's super simple. Find your legislator, send them an email. All you have to do is say, so I support the impeachment inquiry. You can add the link in your email, why you support it. It can be a few sentences. That's it. So let me show you again the impeachment inquiry. Here it is. This use of Chapter 127 a authority to suspend laws, including open government protection. So basically, we're going over these suspensions raise threshold oversight questions appropriate for the inquiry, and where suspension specific, necessary, and time limited, or did they operate at substitutes for legislation, as substitutes for legislation, bypassing normal democratic process? That's the inquiry. That's what we're working on. So it also goes through the suspension of laws, the structure of governance shift, because this is shifting. This is shifting from a government for the people, by the people, under the Constitution, to an emergency governance. And this is outside of the Constitution. So that's why this impeachment inquiry is very important. So I want to show you guys the why this impeachment is relevant for inquiry, necessity, and proportionality. Were suspensions of laws reasonable, necessary for actual emergency? Specificity and transparency. Were suspended statutes identified with precision and public justification? So the suspensions of laws, were they needed? Were they actually needed for an actual emergency? Separation of powers. Has proclamation-based governance effectively shifted lawmaking authority from the legislative to the executive? And yes, it has. So this impeachment inquiry is very important. Procurement and accountability. Did suspension of procurement safeguards materially reduce oversight and competitive fairness? That's for sure it did, because what he did is he suspended bidding laws. Why would you do that? And is it a breach of oath and public trust? It absolutely is. Does the cumulative effect of these actions indicate a potential inconsistency with the governor's constitutional duties? Absolutely. So that is what the impeachment inquiry is about. We respectfully request that the legislature open a formal impeachment inquiry, hold public oversight hearings of emergency proclamations and law suspensions, require production of records supporting necessity determination of legal review. So we want to know, what were these emergency proclamations absolutely necessary? Issue formal findings whether articles of impeachment are warranted or statutory remedies are sufficient. So they need to fix this. This is what we're saying, you guys. And then I do have a bajillion exhibits. Exhibit A, volume of frequency of these emergencies. It shows which emergencies he has signed, how many he has signed. Exhibit B, statutory authority and limits of emergency power. So I don't want to go through all these. You guys can read this for yourself. There is also C, representative emergency proclamation suspending multiple statutes. That's him suspending laws. And then I did do one about in the amendments, or in the exhibits, I have also included showing other governors not suspending laws based on administrative issues, not signing any emergencies. In fact, let me show you this because this is super interesting. So this is Exhibit I. I think this is the last one, or maybe not. Comparison to prior governors. All right, check this out. Josh Green, in less than 3 years, he has signed over 90 emergency proclamations. Ige signed over 40. The governor prior to him, Neil, at least 4 documented emergency proclamations. Linda Lingle, who was 8 years as the governor, emergencies were issued but archived, so there were no records for her. But literally, I mean, these guys, this shows that former governors didn't sign almost 100 emergency proclamations, suspend laws without the legislative body, and all based on administrative issues. These other governors, except for Ige, mainly signed these emergencies based on hurricanes, actual natural disasters. But our Hawaii governor continues to sign these without any oversight. Nobody's checking him. So this is a definite impeachment inquiry that needs your support. You can go to standtogetherhawaii.com, click on Hawaii government overreach, and read the entire impeachment inquiry. And again, you can contact your legislator. It's super easy. And just send them one email, support the impeachment inquiry. That's it. So I'd really appreciate your support. The Hawaii Islands would appreciate your support. Your Ohana would appreciate your support, and future generations for these islands. Because this is a madman we're dealing with, an absolute mad dictator who thinks he can just come in and suspend laws and create his own emergency proclamation. Oh, let's have an emergency proclamation based on we don't have enough bus drivers. Oh, there's too many deer. We need an emergency. There's too many deer. Oh, there's a hotel. Uncle Billy's Hotel in Hilo needs to be demolished. Emergency proclamation. Suspend the bidding law and let me give this contract to one contractor. What? You can't do that, Green. You cannot do that. That is not Pono. And it is not what your station is about. Your station and your oath of office is to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the Hawaii Islands. That is your oath. That is your station. You have gone over your station, and it is up to the people. The legislative body is not going to do it. It is up to the people to demand that they do an inquiry, an impeachment inquiry. So your Kuleana, my Kuleana, support this impeachment inquiry by sending your legislator one simple email that just simply says, support impeachment inquiry. And you can send them the link to the impeachment inquiry. You can copy the impeachment inquiry and send them that PDF link directly to it. They've all gotten it. They've all received it. I've emailed it to them, and I've emailed it to the state attorney's general office. I even emailed it, to be transparent, I emailed it to Hawaii Governor Green, so he sees what's going on. So he knows exactly what we're up to. This is all transparent. And here's the thing. This is our Kuleana. We are the bravest of the brave to come here. We are each guided by a divine creator. There is a frequency of love that surrounds the Hawaii Islands and surrounds the planet. And it's guiding our hearts to doing what is right. Is it scary to send your legislator an email, support impeachment inquiry? Yeah, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. You know, I've done a lot of work that has been nerve-wracking, but I've done it because I know it's the right thing to do. It's not easy, but it's right. And I know that doing that makes me feel strong, and it makes me feel like I know that I'm doing what I'm meant to do. The Bible says, fear not, 365 times. Is that a coincidence that it's one for every day? I don't think so. Don't be afraid. Send your legislator one simple email that says support the impeachment inquiry. Send them the link to the page or send them the direct link to the impeachment inquiry. We can do this, you guys. All right. Great Spirit, infinite intelligence of all things. We're so grateful for this time that we get to watch the movie unfold. And we get to be part of the movie. We get to be an actor, a character in this play that we decided to come and be in. It's just a game. So we say yes. We're going to come forth and we're going to make a difference, and we're going to do what's in our heart. We're going to do what is right, what we feel is right. We're going to do what is right, what we're guided to do. We're going to do it with courage and with love and with the knowingness that we're always protected and always kept safe and always guided. It is time for a huli. It is time to turn the table. It is time to turn the canoe and point it in the right direction toward love and harmony and freedom and peace and the right to own private property and the right to live our lives in peace. without the absolute tyranny of government overreach. This was not what this land was created for. Great Spirit, we have unalienable rights under you. You made every single cell in our body. You knew how to create fingers and eyelashes and liver, and you know you're guiding us every single step of the way. This is already done. We are already free. We are already free, Great Spirit. Thank you so much for the opportunity to make a difference. And we get to watch as the movie unfolds that brings back true freedom to these Hawaii Islands, to the mainland, to Canada, to Mexico, to Europe, to Australia, to China, to Israel, to Gaza, to Ukraine, to Russia, to New Zealand. We call it forth right now. We send the frequency of light and love and aloha around the entire planet, that either the hearts be turned, the people in power, their hearts be turned to doing what is right for the people, or they be peaceably removed from power or removed in whatever way you want to remove them, Great Spirit. It's a movie and we get to watch it unfold. Thank you so much for this opportunity to follow your guidance. And so it is. Please send your legislator simple email. Support the impeachment inquiry. Much aloha.